Welcome to CSBJ Radio. CSBJ Radio is the premier online business talk radio show in the Southeast. CSBJ proactively connects, informs, and engages its listeners in all aspects of small business. Discover the entrepreneur in you with CSBJ Radio. Now, here's your host, Greg Wilson.
Hello and welcome to another edition of CSBJ Radio. I am your host, Greg Wilson, the owner and publisher of Connections Small Business Journal. You can find us online at www.connectmybusiness.me. Again, that's www.connectmybusiness.me. If you are not following us already on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I'm asking you to. I'm asking you to, or requesting that you do. And once you do, share the message of Connection Small Business Journal. And you can find us even on social media utilizing at Connect My Biz. Again, at Connect My Biz. That's B-I-Z-Z. You can utilize that. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And please follow us, share us. Just those individuals that are in your circle that you feel would benefit from what we're doing here with Connection Small Business Journal. I would strongly encourage you and really appreciate if you shared the message again that we are trying to get out to the masses. And speaking of a message that we're trying to get out to the masses, that's the purpose of today's podcast. Our podcast today, we all can benefit from it. That is my release statement. We all can benefit from today's podcast. And today's podcast is simply low budget, high impact marketing techniques. Again, low budget, high impact marketing techniques. And just the title alone lets you know why I feel that we all can benefit from it. What I mean by we all, let me clarify what I mean by that. We all, every entrepreneur, every small business owner, every mom and pop, everyone that is dreaming. Right now, you have a notepad full of ideas. You have a notepad of things, the way you want things to be in a business that doesn't even exist today. Right now, it's all in your head and on that notepad of yours. We all, again, can benefit from low budget, high impact marketing techniques. And I want to just start this podcast by giving my own personal testimony. I owned a small business. The very first true small business that I owned was in Columbus, Georgia, many years ago. It was called Wilson Communications. And this was before the age of smartphones. I think the most popular seller or the most popular phone that I sold, if you will, was the Motorola V3 Razr. So that just shows you just how many years ago this was. And I cashed out my 401k. I opened the business by simply cashing out a 401k, and that's literally how I opened, or how financially I was able to open this business. And I knew that I needed customers. I knew that I needed customers to come into the store and buy cell phones, to buy accessories, and to buy everything else that I was selling in the store, all the other services that I was offering at the time. I knew I needed that. So immediately I began to dump money into radio advertising. I knew that there was a particular market that I was trying to reach. You know, the business was located literally in a low income area. So I went, if you will, to a radio station that I felt that the majority of low income folk would listen to, right? How crazy was that? And began to dump money into radio advertising. Now, I told you that the hottest seller, if you will, at the time was the Motorola V3 Razr. Facebook was not out then. Instagram was not out then. Black Planet was. MySpace was. But again, I was not utilizing those tools to increase sales and revenue out of my store. But I dumped money into radio advertising, like heavily dumped money into radio advertising. Radio remotes, dump money into radio remotes, dump money into being on the radio for, 30-second radio spots throughout the course of the day. And literally, I'm not sure if I just yelled into the mic, but I'm passionate about this. literally there was no return on my investment. Not one customer came in as a direct result of advertising on radio. Now, for those of you that may be listening to this podcast and have friends in radio, well, I also have friends in radio. And I just don't think that at the time it was not a great investment for myself, for my business. And today, here we are in 2017, I would dare say that you have to be very careful about where you spend your advertising dollars. If your budget for advertising, if your budget for marketing is X, a low X, a small X, then we, as small business owners, we need to be very careful as to how we go about spending that small X. Okay? So that was a personal testimony for me. I dumped money, a lot of money, into radio advertising, but the return that I received on that investment was zero. So fast forward to 2017. And I will also add to this that not just radio, but you need to take a look at television. You need to take a look at even magazine advertising. Really take a look at it and see if there will be a return on that particular investment. If we invest money, if I have a low X, if I have a low budget amount, and I begin to put money into radio advertising, and I'm not saying that it's completely off or completely bad. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. I'm just saying be very careful how you choose to spend this low budget of yours, this little X that you have for your marketing, this little X that you have for your advertising dollars. Be very careful and strategic with how you choose to spend those advertising dollars. One thing that you don't want to do, you don't necessarily want to invest all that money, because you'll find just how quickly that money disappears, just how quickly that money erodes, if you will, and there's no coming back from that. I wish I could get that money back. I wish I could go down and tell this particular radio station, hey, I didn't receive not one single darn customer from you guys. I want my money back. But it doesn't work like that. So we have to be very strategic and careful how we spend our advertising dollars. So, low budget, high impact marketing techniques. The internet has completely changed the game. Digital advertising, I feel, and I have found to be very advantageous for individuals to invest into digital advertising. But even before we dig into the investment in digital advertising, let's just take a look at some things that we can do on our own that doesn't cost a darn dime. It's free. How many of you that are under the sound of my voice have a literal business, but you don't have a Google My Business account? See, these are things that the little things. I've talked to several small business owners whose business is not even listed on Google. How is that? If you're in a particular, and maybe that's not the case for those of you maybe who have an online presence, an online business, then maybe you may not show up in a local search. But if I'm a mom and pop in city of X, city of Y, then yeah, I would want my business to show up in a local search. So Google My Business account is absolutely critical. It's absolutely a necessity. So before we go any further, I'm going to pause just for a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back as we discuss low budget, high impact marketing techniques. You're listening to CSBJ Radio. Alabama weather can be devastating. With tornadoes hitting the area year after year, not protecting your family can be risky. Safety Shelter can provide peace of mind in the most chaotic of circumstances. They have been engineering and manufacturing storm shelters to the highest quality for over 20 years right here in Hartselle, Alabama. They know exactly what it takes to keep your family safe and secure during severe weather. Their above-ground safe rooms are bolted to concrete and can withstand the weight of a house collapsing around you. Having survived survived a tornado themselves, the team at Safety Shelter is committed to providing you with the highest standard of safety that your family deserves. With their spring sale and affordable financing available, there is no better time to act. Call Liz at Safety Shelter right now, 1-800-462-3648. Again, that's 1-800-462-3648. Or go online to stormshelter.com. Make sure to ask Liz about your free WYDE consultation. Safety Shelter, safe and secure for any situation. Okay, we're back, and I apologize again for that break. And folks, you'll hear my voice is a little raspy, just getting over, quite honestly, a cold. But we're going to press through this podcast today because I really think that, again, we all can benefit from this particular podcast. So one thing that we started discussing is creating a Google My Business account. And you would simply just go to Google and Google My Business. All right. It's not rocket science. And I am, matter of fact, I spoke at a speaking engagement not too long ago and literally, asked for a show of hands of individuals who were utilizing social media, who, didn't or had a Google business account. And I was absolutely floored by the amount of people that didn't raise their hand. So I made it my business prior to leaving this particular speaking engagement that I invested time with those individuals on an individual basis to ensure that prior to my departure from this particular speaking engagement, that they were set up on at least Facebook and definitely had a Google My Business account. If you are a local business, you want to appear in local searches, and Google has completely changed the game. The internet has completely changed the game, and you want to make sure that, again, that your business is not only visible on a search, but hey, if someone wanted to knock on your door and come in and support your business, maybe you are a bakery. How are you even surviving without a Google My Business account? How are you even surviving? All right. So you definitely want to show up on Google Maps, and that we all know, we all have mobile phones, and I do the majority of my searching now on my mobile phone, and there's a Google Map app on my mobile phone. So if I wanted to come and find you, I'm going to type that in, right? And come and visit you. So create a Google My Business account. Number two. How many of us are utilizing an email list, an email distribution list? The one that I use for my business that I would definitely encourage you to utilize is MailChimp. That's MailChimp. Again, MailChimp, MailChimp. And you say, well, Greg, I thought that you said low budget. Well, and that's specifically why I am recommending MailChimp. MailChimp, quite honestly, even now, and this may not be the case forever, but currently, as of today, is offering its service for free to businesses with fewer than 2,000 subscribers. So if you are a small business and you have a email list, an email distribution list, and you have 2,000 subscribers on your list, MailChimp. Now, I know that we want to grow our distribution list, yes, but if we have 2,000 subscribers or less, my friend, it's not rocket science for us to do this. MailChimp allows you to have a free email distribution platform, if you will, and sending out emails, whether it be an email newsletter or whatever the case may be. MailChimp offers this service for free for businesses with fewer than 2,000 subscribers. And once you hit the 2001 subscriber, then MailChimp would begin to charge. I believe it's like $19 or so per month. All right. But having an email distribution list. And you say, well, Greg, man, how in the world do I even obtain subscribers? Easy. Have a call to action on your website. Have a call to action on your Facebook page if you don't have a website. And even if you do have a website and you also have a Facebook page, those two should be tandem. Call to action on the website, a call to action even on your Google your Facebook business page. All right. The third thing